Okay. So, dear learners, so today I'll talk about the use of Bloom taxonomy in outcome based curriculum design. So, already you have know about that Bloom taxonomy, and there are different level of Bloom taxonomy. The cognitive level, there is a different part of the cognitive sub part, like that knowledge, comprehensive, analysis, application, all kinds of things you have known. So, now I will discuss how this can be used to design the outcome based curriculum. So, this is the use part of that things. So, before I going to the Bloom taxonomy use in outcome based curriculum design, I just some discussion on what is the advantage of outcome based curriculum design. I have done lot of discussion in first few classes, but here is I just share some knowledge that what is the advantage of if I write down the outcome based curriculum compared to the normal syllabus. If you see any institute or any university or any courses, if you go, there is a syllabus or there is a course structure. So, you can say there is a course name A, course name B and course name A. Under the course name A, there is a syllabus, list of topic. So, there are some topic list will be there. Now, what is the problem in here? There is a list of topics are there. So, suppose there is a subject A where the list of topics is given, but the depth or coverage of individual topic not explicitly mentioned in the syllabus. For example, let us see, so there is a syllabus of audio system engineering which I have made that here. Let us give the example. There is a example large room acoustics and small room acoustics. This is a list of topics. So, teacher supposed to cover the large room acoustics and small room acoustics, but it does not tell how much depth teacher will cover it. Now, if a teacher A or teacher let us A is very confident about that small room acoustics, but not that confident about the large room acoustics. So, what he will say that this teacher will cover more depth in small room acoustics, but less depth in large room acoustics. So, if you see the syllabus, although the syllabus is defined, but the coverage in the class will vary from teacher to teacher. That is happening right now. Somebody said that okay, I want to take a course on something X, but once he attended the class, he found teacher is teaching something else. But teacher said yes, there is a list of topics. So, topics is there, topics name is there. Let us, there is a some syllabus is called mathematics, engineering mathematics. The syllabus is said differential equation, solving of differential equation. Some teacher may cover depth, means third order, fourth order, or some teacher may cover only first order and second order. Then you can say, although the syllabus it is mentioned, the student should know solving of differential equation, but the coverage of the syllabus does not mention. So, that is varies from teacher to teacher. So, this is the one of the disadvantages. Another disadvantage is that if you see, once you give you the syllabus to the student does not know how much teacher will cover in each and individual topic. So, what is the problem is that unless a student attend the class or unless the course is completed, student does not know how much I have to read or how much depth I have to read. So, this is the problem in syllabus. Another problem is that suppose somebody else is making the question paper and somebody else is teaching. That is happen in many university or many institute also. Somebody that syllabus is given and somebody is teaching in the class and some set of body is making the question paper. Now, syllabus is given and what is happening? The syllabus it is written solving of differential equation and teacher cover up to second order, then found, then the examiners set a questions on solve the differential equation on third order, then student said, sir, it is out of the syllabus. So, what is the present practices? If you see, many of the institute has a question bank, standard question bank. Instead of relying on what teacher taught or what student learned, the board has a question bank and students are solving those question bank and they are expecting those questions will come in the exam. So, they study before the exam 7 days solving those question paper and give the exam. So, instead of providing the skill, they memorize something and give the exam. But if you develop this outcome based curriculum, where the outcome is specific, measurable and achievable, those outcomes are written, then student know what he has to attend, teacher know what he has to taught, and the examiner know what student can solve, what student can do. Even in external body who will recruiting the student, he know what is the expertise of the students of this institute. So, this is the biggest advantage of outcome based curriculum. Student clear what he has to achieve, teacher is clear what he has to taught, and the external body who is supposed to employ those students, they are very much clear what skill sets are there in this institute students, what skill sets are there in this institute students. So, outcome based curriculum maintain the clarity among the student, teacher and the employer who will be employ the students. So, that is why the outcome based curriculum is very much needed. If recently there are some questions about what course should I taught in some discipline, let us say the computer science. Should I taught chemistry in computer science or should I not taught chemistry? Should engineering drawing will be taught in computer science or electronics, or it should be excluded? It is not that whether we taught chemistry to the electronics students or computer science student, it is not that. It has to be defined by the desired outcome. That means, once I know a set of computer science students, this my computer science institute A computer science program, and once I know my PEO, program educational objective of the program, and PO, from there if those are written in outcome based POS, program specific objective, those will specify whether chemistry will taught in computer science or not. It is not somebody expert says that chemistry is important for computer science. It is the requirement, what skill set we want to see for a computer science graduate. If I want any skill on chemistry, then chemistry has to be taught in here. If I do not see that none of the skill require any chemistry knowledge, then I should not taught chemistry to them. So, it is not somebody said computer science has to be taught chemistry. It is PSO, program specific objective, and PEO, program educational objective, will define whether a subject called chemistry, which kind of expertise has to be taught to the first year students. So, if I say the syllabus, somebody said this is the syllabus, that is not. Syllabus will be defined by desired outcome. If the outcomes is specified, then I know what depth, what syllabus I have to cover for this kind of course. Okay. Sorry, this kind of course. Okay. Now, so that is why the outcome based curriculum design is very much important. Another advantage, there is another advantage of outcome based curriculum design. If you see that there is many of the institute had purchased many software, many things, but how many of those software is, which software is maximum use or which software is not used, we do not know. But if I say some program educational objective and PSO or course, some course objective is written that this course outcome require the software MATLAB, or this course outcome requires such a software A, then management know what kind of infrastructure I have to establish to develop those skill set. So, infrastructure is not arbitrary, it depends on what kind of skill set I want to develop on the students. What kind of skill set, once I define that I want to develop the skill for design of VLSI circuits, then I know what kind of software and what kind of hardware I have to buy, what kind of lab facility I have to create it. So, outcome based curriculum also scatter to that also, which software, which facility, what kind of infrastructure required. So, that give me the proper planning for the institute. So, outcome based curriculum is much more important. So, design the outcome based curriculum, I have to write down every course outcome in a scientific manner, which is called instructional objective, instructional system design or instructional system design, which you have studied already, you have studied it. So, instructional objective or outcome, how do I write that outcome? That is the important. How do I write that outcome which is measurable, which is specific and which is achievable? How do I write that things? If I want to write that things, then if we see a instructional objective or a outcome is a statement of something which is specific, measurable, achievable, that students be able to do after receiving the instruction effect. So, there is a three component in any instructional objective. One is called performance component, another is called condition component, another is called criteria component. What performance component said? What student has to be performed. What condition component said? What will be given, that the condition, that if this is given, this you have to perform up to this level. So, that is why outcome is specific, the outcome coverage, depth and breadth of the subject is implicit in the outcome. So, once I write the outcome, it should have a condition component, it should have a performance component, it should have a criteria component. That means, a outcome should be specific, measurable and achievable. If I want to write this thing, how the Bloom taxonomy come in here? If you see, we said the performance component. Performance component means what I have to perform. Now, this performance component has to be written down using the action verb of Bloom taxonomy. So, what Bloom taxonomy we have studied? We have studied domains of learning in Bloom taxonomy, cognitive level, psychomotor domain and affective domain. I have not details covered, but I just touch that things. If you see, cognitive domain involving thinking, psychomotor domain involving action, affective domain involving feelings. This is well established theory by the Benjamin Bloom. Now, if I deal with all the theoretical lectures, all the theory class are deal with the cognitive domain. Once the go for the practical classes, that is cognitive as well as psychomotor. Now, if you see the cognitive domain, there is some classification: evaluation, synthesis, analysis, application, comprehension, knowledge. This knowledge is not wisdom, this knowledge is remembering. So, this knowledge is the lowest level and evaluation is the highest level. So, if somebody has achieved in evaluation level for a particular topic, he must have the knowledge level, comprehension level, application level, analysis level, then only evaluation level. So, as per the Bloom taxonomy, if I achieve in higher level, then it is assumed the lower level knowledge or lower level skill I already have. That is why I achieve in higher level, cognitive level. So, once you write an instructional objective or outcome with a multiple action verb, as you know that what is action verb, it is already taught to you. So, once you write an instructional objective or outcome with a multiple action verb, so there is a different level of action verbs are there. It may be analysis, it will be synthesis, evaluation. Now, if you see once suppose the objective 1, outcome 1 has 3 action verb, one is in 3 action verb, one is in knowledge level, one analysis level, one synthesis level. Then if you say that highest is synthesis level, so I can say this outcome is in synthesis level. Why I have to do that kind of cognitive level division and all kind of things? If you see NBA accreditation, if you read that NBA accreditation, let us talk about the NBA accreditation. I am not talking about the Washington records, both are although are commonly same. So, if you say NBA never said a graduate engineer has to remember something. A graduate engineer must have solved engineering problem, you can say the formulate the problem, solve the problem, design something, all kinds of higher cognitive level action verbs are there. So, any course, once you write down course outcome, it should scatter to the higher cognitive level, because your PSO, program specific objective, will be in higher cognitive level. There should not, nobody will ask what is the definition of Newton's second law of motion, what is the definition of, write down the theory of, write down the Maxwell equation. Nobody will ask. What you will do if you know the Maxwell equation? So, define Maxwell equation is not the final outcome of a course. It may be outcome of a lecture or a subject. So, if you know something which is doing by Maxwell equation, then student definitely know what is Maxwell equation. So, I can say that course outcome should scatter to those cognitive level which is exist in NBA accreditation, or it is higher cognitive domain. So, describe the operation of AC machine may not be a BTech or graduate level question, because graduate student not only describe it, they should able to design it, they should able to calculate some parameter for a given specification. So, describe maybe the ITI level or diploma level question paper. So, course outcome should not contain an objective which is said describe the operation of AC machine. If you write down that course outcome, that will not map with any PSO or this kind of things. So, that is why once you know the Bloom taxonomy, you have to know which kind of action verb I should use to write down my course objective, so that it scattered to my program educational objective or program specific outcome. Your program specific outcome never said describe knowledge comprehension level, all are application, analysis, synthesis and evaluation level. So, your course outcome should be on application, analysis, synthesis and evaluation level, not on the lower cognitive level. Okay. So, that is the use of Bloom taxonomy in here. So, only performance component of the outcome is defined by Bloom taxonomy, other component are domain specific. That is why we require a domain expertise to write the course outcome. Okay. So, this is the use of Bloom taxonomy. If you see the psychomotor domain, what is the use of psychomotor domain in outcome writing the outcome based curriculum? Once you write down the outcome of a laboratory course, a lab course, so there involves some psychomotor action also. So, lab course is not only the cognitive level or cognitive level thinking level skill set, but also some psychomotor skill set also important. So, when you write down a outcome of a lab course, that time you may require psychomotor domain also. Okay. So, operate a machine is also a skill that also required when you are doing a writing a outcome of a lab course. So, if you see NBA said that students should know the design of experiment, they should know how to collect the data, they should know how to analyze the data, they should know how to interpret the data. and design of experiment may be required some psychomotor skill set. So, when you design the lab course, that time maybe your psychomotor skill set is important. So, mostly we are dealing with the cognitive domain and partly on the psychomotor domain. So, use of Bloom taxonomy in instructional outcome based curriculum design or writing an outcome is only on the performance component. Condition component and criteria component are the domain specific knowledge. That is why expert teacher may say for a BTech civil engineer this skill is required, this much of skill is required. So, that is the expertise of the teachers. For BTech civil engineer of this much of mathematics you should know. So, I can say for a course mathematics course solving of differential equation, I can say for a B engineer up to third order is sufficient, because whatever the skill I am promises to develop in here, that requires only up to third order. If it is required beyond third order, I should taught them, then I should write my course outcome, it is not third order, it should be in higher order also. So, criteria component and condition component, it define the depth and coverage of the syllabus. Performance component define the cognitive level of the outcome, and the cognitive level is defined using Bloom taxonomy. So, that is the use of Bloom taxonomy in outcome based curriculum design. Now, if I see, there is some example I can give. If you see, if you read this slide, to provide student necessary background to know language processor. If I say know is a performance, but it is not measurable, so it is not an outcome. If I write the outcome, understand the basic concept of electronics, it is not a measurable or specific outcome. Understand cannot be measurable, understand is not measurable, it is not specific basic concept of electronics. I do not know what do you mean by basic concept. So, this kind of, so there is no criteria component, condition component and performance component should be so specific that is direct, measurable, specify and achievable. It is not that basic electronics. What do you mean by basic? Basic to me and basic to somebody else is different. To understand the SQL query, if you see, I cannot know how much student has to be know. Student cannot figure out how much he has to know. So, that is not an specific outcome. If I write down here also AC DC power measurement compare, although there is a action verb, compare is an action verb, I know the cognitive level, but the objective is not measurable and not specific and also not achievable. So, red color marks are the action verb. So, it is not that the performance component is there, that is why my outcome is correct, it is not true. It should be specific, measurable and achievable. Only the measurable part is defined by the Bloom taxonomy. Whether it is specific or whether it is achievable, this has to be defined by the body of the outcome. So, when you write down the outcome, it should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be achievable. That means, you should specify what will be given to the students, what they have to perform, up to what level. They may do many things, but this is the minimum criteria which required for your course. Okay. So, that is the things how to write the outcome of any course. So, important point is that a course objective or a course outcome may contain more than one performance component, that means more than one action verb. The level of this outcome, cognitive level of the outcome is depends which action verb defined by highest cognitive level. So, if a objective said there is a define input output, examine its behavior, evaluate it, then evaluate is the evaluation level, that is why the objective cognitive level is evaluation level. Okay. Now, quickly I will summarize, I am not going to this program matrix, that COs and POs mapping. some that is once I write down the course outcome, how it is mapped to PO, that is a request, lot of request is there, how the CO and PO is mapped, course objective, course outcome and program outcome or program specific outcome, PSO, program specific outcome are matched, attainment or desired is, I am not reading the slides. So, what we are saying that suppose I write my course objective, let us see this slides. So, if you see the POs are in here, all POs are in here, all are POs, PO1, PO2, PO3 or PSO1, PSO3 program specific outcome is written. Instead of PO, you can write down PSO, PSO1, PSO2, PSO3, PSO4, PSO5 up to PSO12 and as per NBA. Now, you have a course objective 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, there is an example. So, given an English language problem, only one objective, second objective, third objective, fourth objective. Now, as a teacher, I should know, okay, objective 1, if it is fully matched with the PSO 1, then I can say, okay, define 3 point like a scale. If it is fully matched 3, if it is partially matched 2, if it is less than 50% match, let us 1, if it is does not match 0. So, I put that value. Since this is matched with the PO1 fully, PO2 fully, PO3 fully, PO4 fully, PO5 fully. So, I write 3, 3, 3, 3, PO6 may be 2, then I write 2. It is does not match with project management and finance, it may match with communication skill, but if not matched with the project management and finance, sustainability, environment, those kind of things. So, I put 0, 0, 0, 0. So, in NBA 12 outcome, 12 PSO program specific outcome. So, let us up to 5 is domain dependent, then later are domain independent. So, a course objective, how it is matched with this PSO, I can 3 point like a scale I can use. Okay. Now, for all course object outcome, 5 to 6 course outcome you have written, you define that things and take the average weight. Okay. Then you put the program matrix. So, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 all are the PSO. Instead of individual course objective, now I write course number 1, course number 2, course number 3 and I put the either weighted average, or if it is, if you say instead of 3.5, if it is around 2.75, I may say 3. So, that is you can put the average weight in here, or you can put the, okay, if it is 80% match means it is full match, then you put the 3. Once your whole this matrix is filled up with the data, then you know those are the course which is required to match the program specific objective. You may change the course outcome to map in here. So, once you define I required BE computer science or BTech computer science, I want to see those skill which is defined using 12 dimension. I take one course and find out this course develop which skill, this course develop which skill. Once I find out those branch of course or those brackets of course will be fulfill my PSO, that is my syllabus, that is my outcome based curriculum. And each outcome must be written on performance component, condition component and criteria component. Once it is there, then a student, a learner know before he admitted to that course what skill he will develop if he admitted this course, which course provide me which kinds of skill. So, it is teacher independent, it does not vary with teacher to teacher, it is learning is the learner responsibility. So, learner knows I have to develop this skill, whether my teacher is helping me this or whether I acquire it from net does not matter, but I have to achieve this skill. So, as a learner, milestone is defined. Teachers are there to guide the student to receive the milestone. Earlier what? Unless I attend the class, I does not know how much is the coverage of the course, how much is the depth of the course, I does not know. So, what is my motive? I solve last 5-year question paper, I know if once I pass this course, I get the degree certificate and that is all. I do not know what kind of skill I supposed to develop for a B.Tech engineer. So, B.Tech, let us computer science engineer. So, here I specify those are the skill by any program, and those skill has to be developed by those courses, and those skill is already vetted by the industry that yes, you can develop those skill among the students, we require those skill set students or those skill set manpower for this kind of industry. And those are the courses will develop this skill, and each and every individual skill is written which is specific, measurable and achievable. Okay? Thank you.